Copflaw, everybody. 1 minute microphone check. Copflaw, everyone. Welcome to Bed Life for today. Monday. What? Monday, yes. Monday. Wow. Monday, January 27th, 2020. Copflaw, everyone. I am sorry for the late start. I was getting a few graphics and stuff ready because Mama Pray will be talking today. She wanted to address everyone in a few minutes. We'll get everybody a chance to get here, but this will be more than just a Mama Pray tale. She wanted actually a few minutes, so you guys can look forward to that. Cinnabon Bunny was very early. Welcome, Cinnabon Bunny. Joseph Patrick said hi to Cinnabon. Joseph says, hey, Mama Pray, just order some burgers and let's kick off the stream. While dinner will be after the stream. Cinnabon says, if you don't start soon, I'm sending my super chat to Anti-Tricker. Well, Cinnabon, you sent it to me, but thank you for trying to force me. Actor says, now we're resorting to blackmail. Nice. And Actor says, no, let me relabel that because it isn't blackmail, it's a quid pro quo. Wow, wow. And Joseph says blackmail is a valid form of persuasion. Then Cinnabon Bunny gave me a super chat before I even went live. Thank you so much, Cinnabon Bunny. $5. Copflaw, thank you. I don't know why you're sighing. I was just a few minutes. I came on just a few minutes later, right? What, 20? Oh, Jesus. 40? 35 minutes? Well, I'm so sorry, Cinnabon. It couldn't have been that long. I saw it come in, and maybe it was 20 minutes ago, tops. And I told you guys I was getting ready. Joseph then put in a €2 super chat before I started. I was on Nerdrotic on Friday night, and now I'm getting the super chats before I even start the stream. I already feel like I'm a big-time YouTuber. Thank you, Joseph, so much. For F's sake, just start already. I wish I could, Joseph, but I needed to get the stuff together, and I needed to jaloja. 47 Yorktown says, hello, sir. Welcome, 47 Yorktown. Resolute Germ says, hi. Welcome, Resolute. John Araki says, crapla, John Araki. 09 A-Team says, all wrenches, lol. Well, a lot of wrenches. You will have one, too, soon, 09 A-Team, if you keep coming around. Life with Matthew says, crapla, bird of prey, and all. Or rather, good evening, Mama Pray. Yes, Mama Pray can hear, but she's not going to be here for a couple minutes. Anti-Trigger says, can't stay working, which sucks. Well, Anti-Trigger, I know it sucks, but I'm kind of happy for whatever that you were able to get back to work. Although, I know it doesn't mean that you're feeling better, but I hope it goes well. And I'm 5 by 5. Thank you. Lightwood Matthew says, sound is good, but his grammar is bad. That is correct. I did add a few small words in there. Anti-Trigger says, just stopping by to drop a like. I will be streaming a little later than normal tonight, about 9 p.m. Eastern. Sorry, Bird. It's okay. Anti-Trigger means I'll just watch it in the morning. Resolute Germ says, 09 A-Team, unlike Anti-Trigger, Bird is very liberal with the wrench. That is true. Shronmore, although, to be honest, Anti-Trigger was quite liberal with the wrench in the beginning, but then he put George in charge. I haven't seen him in a while, and he got the wrenches under control. Anyway, guys, I not had a great 24 hours. Yesterday afternoon, evening, I started feeling pretty damn sick, and I had a really rough night. Feeling okay right now, but it was not a good 24 hours, and I hope I'll be okay after dinner tonight. That will be the tell if this was something quick and it's past, or if this is going to get worse before it gets better. So I do apologize if I'm a little slower than usual, which, let's face it, that's already pretty slow. Shronmore says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Shronmore. Anti-Trigger says, yes, Resolute Germ. Bird is a liberal, that we all know. Dan23 says, hi, welcome, Dan. Shronmore says, and greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals. Yes. Oh, am I on live chat? No. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to go to live chat, Mama Prey. Thank me. Why, did I already miss a comment? Could you tell? Uh-oh, so I probably missed comments. John Aragi says, holy crap, it's working? Wait, no, just, what did I miss?
I don't know, maybe you'll read something in.
Oh, yeah, no, I read that. I didn't get to it yet. Yeah, Anti-Trekker is going to say he can't stay in a minute. And it is, okay, so let me get through the first chats, and then we will have Mamo Prey talk, because Anti-Trekker actually inspired Mamo Prey for this Mamo Prey, first ever Mamo Prey rant. Mamo Prey, I don't know what we're going to call this. Mamo Prey inspiration. Mamo Prey. Okay, light bringing. What's it called when you shine light on something? When you no, like a resolution or yeah, I thought of it. Well, somebody will think of it. Anyway, welcome Dan, welcome Shronmore. And Antitrigger says, man, a Mamo Prey stream, I can't stay, son of a bitch. Well, hopefully you can listen, if not now, then later. Kronos says, oh, come on, I almost fell asleep. Kapla, welcome, Kronos. Anti-Trekker, what happened, says Kronos. He's working. He has to work. Live with Matthews says, Anti-Trekker, the pain management going at the workplace. Well, his workplace is his office, so luckily he doesn't have to actually leave the home. You know. Rock Solid says, Dear Bop, or we riot. There will be Dear Bop, Rock Solid, after we hear about from Mamo Prey. I also am going to give a short review of Avenue 5, Episode 2, after we hear from Mamo Prey, for those who care. Remember to switch to live chat. We pause to remember the alpaca mode. Thank you, Shronmore. Anti-Trigger says, sucks, but I will live. Lightwood Matthews says, Dear Bop, after Mamo Prey, of course, yes. Kronos says, Anti-Trigger, you doing alright? Anti isn't chewing you, right? Mamo Prey says, Anti-Trigger, you inspired me to speak on this subject. Kronos says, hail to Mamo Prey. Darth Sweeney Kapla says, greetings, how is life on planet Bird? It's been better, Darth Sweeney. It has been better. I told just a minute ago, it has not been a great day. Couldn't get to sleep last night. Ended up rewatching Measure of a Man. And then like 15, I just left Netflix playing TNG. I don't know when I actually fell asleep, but it was several episodes. And Sassy was running around all night. She didn't want to sleep for some reason. I was dry heaving most of the night. It was not a good night. But I'm feeling better now, so hopefully we'll be good. Anyway, watching Measure of a Man, just real quick. Data's very first time playing poker is in Measure of a Man. It was his first time playing was the game. they showed. And the first hand Data ever had was 5 cards, but with 1 card down. Or maybe it was 2 cards down. And the card on that was hidden on Data, the bottom card on Data in his very first poker game was the Queen of Hearts. So, does that mean anything? Probably not. But is it a coincidence? Maybe. Maybe it's a coincidence that the very first poker game Data ever played, the card he had to peek at and look at was a Queen of Hearts. And in the Picard first episode, Data turns over his winning hand of 5 Queens of Hearts. So, is there something going on there? Could be. Could be. I doubt it. But I wanted to bring it up because I was like, I was awake, I saw this. Yes, it's the Queen of Hearts. I was like, what are the chances it's the Queen of Hearts? And then it was. Chronos says 5x5 means we can hear you. Yes, I'm aware of that now. Thank you. Sharon Moore says Bird of Prey and not Ryan Johnson. Thanks for showing up to my first premiere on Mountains of Elysium. You're very welcome, Sharon Moore. Guys, on Mountains of Elysium channel, Sharon Moore's second channel, he's doing videos on Babylon 5. I'll freely admit I don't remember much about Babylon 5. Really, just the very, very basics. It's a space station and some guy named, I forgot his name. Some guy, I was going to say Capaldi, but that's a doctor, isn't it? That's a Doctor Who doctor. Some guy is involved. I think he was the station commander, but now they don't know his name. It really doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Babylon 5, but I wish they would, fix the resolution. Bring it up to HD. I'd watch it again. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, have on one Star Trek question. I have one Star Trek question. Between seasons 1 to 3 of DS9, did you think Captain Sisko's dad had died or was very ill and did work? Yeah, no, absolutely, Dan23. It was a retcon. In the first couple of seasons of Deep Space Nine, every time Sisko mentioned his dad, it was past tense. It had 100%. They were writing the character as if his dad had passed away. And then when they needed to have his dad alive, all of a sudden, his dad was no longer referred to in the past tense. We're going to go home and visit Dad, Jake, or whatever. And we go see his restaurant. They absolutely, at the start of season 1 and even into season 2, they had no plans to bring in Sisko's father into the series. I'm 100% sure about that. They clearly wrote those lines as if the father was dead. Cross says George of the Jungle. No, George. Darth George? No, Jedi George? Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Trek95 says, greetings, Bird of Prey. It's the medication. It's the antibiotics I'm on. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Roxod says, Bird of Prey, I hope you don't have stomach flu. No, I do have some pains, but I don't think it is. Kronos says, Bird of Prey, I forgot to live chat as well. Son of a bitch. Epic Beers has remembered to unsub 3 times, which be with meals and with 5 times on Sundays. Keely Chow says, hello, everybody. Kapla, Keely. Anti-Trigger says, aw. Yo says, I was surprised and honored when Anti-Trigger gave me the wrench. Mom O Rant 5, possibly. Kronos says, Anti-Trigger isn't that special. Anti-Trigger says, just call it the good live stream. Oh, I see. Illuminate. Oh, yes, illuminate. Mom O Pray Illumination, maybe. Yeah. Epiphany, enlightenment.
He may not like it.
Oh, I'm sure he won't like it. A McClunky, welcome, Aberjam. Epiphany, that's not bad. Illumination, could be. We'll figure out a name later. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, yes, I've got the Avenue 5 on TV. You've seen episode 1, and the actor who played Neelix in Voyager 2 was in it. Yes, and he's also in episode 2, and I still say he's the best character on the show. Which is you, Lori. Oh right, yeah. There's the one of the husbands one of the husbands that's a passenger played David Wallace on The Office. Yeah, he does not have a good character arc. Corona says, thank you for the bird flu, Bird of Prey hacks. Wow. Epic says, I couldn't sleep too. Watch lots of Enterprise Season 1. I'm liking it more this time around. Epic Beard, I love Enterprise Seasons 1 and 2. And honestly, I thought 3 was the weakest season. I know that's the complete opposite of what most people think. But watching Enterprise around after, you know, a little older, a little wiser, Enterprise Seasons 1 and 2 to me was Star Trek that went back to exploration, went back to where no man has gone before, closest to the original series that we have seen since TOS, in my opinion. And that's why I liked it so much. I know some people don't like it because, oh, the Vulcans aren't... Well, you know what? They explained why the Vulcans are assholes. Because the Vulcans were following the wrong prophet or the wrong teachings, and they fixed that. And some people don't like Trip because he has a southern accent. Well, excuse me. I thought you're not supposed to be racist assholes if you like Star Trek. Oh, it's not racist because he's southern. No, that doesn't count. If you're holding somebody's accent against them, you're being an asshole. So, you know, that doesn't do anything. I don't take that as a problem. I quite like Trip. He was a good guy. Thomas Bott says, you got me sick somehow, you son of a bitch. I've been having a bad life day. I'm so sorry, Thomas, but yeah, something's going around Karoga. I think Anti-Trekker is using biological warfare. Yeah, it's biological warfare by Turtistan. Epic Beard says, I forgot Nerds, Birds, and Pugs Oh Prey. Yes. I watched Anti-Trekker stream this morning when I woke up from the point where I'd stopped watching last night, and I saw Captain Foley was looking for me. Pug Oh Prey. Yeah, I missed it. I missed it. I know Captain Foley is live right now, but I can't go talk on his channel because you guys were waiting for me. Okay, guys, listen, I'm gonna bring Mamo Prey on right now because I know I have chats to go through, but let's get Mamo Prey on. So I'm going to change the screen, but now you say, but that's the same graphic we always have. Yes, but I'm about to fix that, and if I had had more time, I would have put this on my Stream Deck, so I wouldn't have had to do this the hard way. Ta-da! There is Mamo Prey, me, Sister O'Prey on the right, and Teddy Bear O'Prey as well. Now, granted, yes, that's an old picture, but that was the picture that was approved by everybody in the picture. So
It's not that old.
It's not terribly old. I'm still in the wheelchair, so we know it's within 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. There are older pictures. So welcome, Mamo Prey. What do you have for us today? Or how do you want to just take it?
What do I have for you guys today? First, I'm going to say welcome, everyone.
Here so you can see the chat if you want to respond to anybody.
Well, unfortunately, you're going to have to read anything you want me to, because I can't see.
Okay, you can't read that?
Not unless you make it a lot bigger.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll read anything that looks too important. Chrono says, Sis O'Prey is hot.
Yeah, we know that. Thank you. Okay, getting on to what... Now, you guys know I am not... See, I lost my train of thought already. I enjoy Star Trek, but I don't know the things you guys know.
No, Mamo Prey's watched TNG through DS9 with me, probably. And then, you know, she watches reruns casually. She's not into it.
That's it. I'm a casual fan.
She's a casual fan.
With that in mind, I did watch Picard the other day, and I enjoyed it. And then I heard Anti-Trekker talk about it. Well, when I first heard him equating the couple. See, I don't even know their names.
Laris and Zaban, the
Right.
Romulans.
Working and living at Picard's Vineyard to slaves. I out loud, I was really agitated, and I said, what the, oh wait, I said wireless telecommunication facility.
Nah, very good Orville reference.
That's what I
did
said.
not help her with this, guys.
No. Okay.
This is all Mamo Pray.
But then I calmed down, and I said,
There won't be any big spoilers, Kronos.
no, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But no, I mean, you can talk without there being any major spoilers.
Oh, no, there's not much more about the
No,
Picard
it's just,
at all.
the only thing you gotta know, Kronos, is that there's 2 Romulans living with Picard who are basically, looks like Anti-Trekker believes they look and act like slaves. I'm sorry.
Yes. No, go ahead.
But that's what you said already.
Right, that is, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to say much more about
Okay.
it. That's the
Mamo
whole
Pray
point.
thinks, yeah.
But I calmed down, and I was wondering why A.T. saying that bothered me so much. Because I know he's a very compassionate person. Underneath all the Turkestan and Karoga BS, he genuinely cares about people. But it was really bothering me, the analogy he made. So I started thinking, and I realized that we all look at any situation in life, whether it's a TV show, a movie, interacting with fellow co-workers, anybody, family, we all bring our own perspective to it. So, but it was still bothering me. And I said, so what I'm about to say is coming from my eyes and my heart and my 68-year-old perspective. So I have to go back a little. And I grew up in New York City, which for the first 20 years of my life was nicknamed the melting pot, not the Big Apple. And anything I learned about slavery, I learned in a classroom. I mean, it was New York City, and there was no slavery, at least not when I was born, nor for any time before that I know of. So I don't have a first-hand experience with slavery. I don't have anyone in the family telling stories, you know, down from generation to generation. I mean, the only thing I really remember is as a child driving down, I don't know, it was North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that. And on the side of the road was a row of really tiny buildings. Today I would call them sheds, but they were really dilapidated and run down. And I said, what are those? And somebody told me those were the old slave homes. And I remember thinking, wow, that's sad. So I really don't have, but what I do have experience in is people working in the home. Now, in today's day and age, I think that people working in homes can take on many different forms. Let me get back to where. Okay. You have caregivers. Now, I did not choose caregiving as a career, but when Berto Prey first got sick, we definitely had choices to make. And I did choose to give up my career, job, whatever you call it. I was not making minimum wage in a McDonald's. I would say it was a career. I was a supervisor at an airline,
Yeah, and you had goals, and
yeah.
and
I mean,
were...
at the time, my salary was about $60,000 a year, and my plans were to stay there at least another 10 years. And I moved up pretty fast, and I thought I was going to keep moving up. But when he got sick, the choice for me was to say goodbye to outside employment and move in with him and take care of him. Yes, he's my son. These two people are not related to Picard, but he saved their life from what I understand. So if I put myself in their shoes, if my home was being destroyed and this man came and saved my life and the life of my husband and brought us to his estate. This isn't just a 3-bedroom, middle-class home. This is an estate and a vineyard. And I believe they had a vineyard on their, wherever they...
Yeah, yes, they had a vineyard. The Romulans came from a vineyard where they were. They were on a colony and they ran a vineyard on the colony.
Oh, so they already did this work. And apparently they enjoyed it. So I did not get the impression that they were slaves. At one point, the husband made a comment about his job.
I want to keep my job.
Right. So you have many people, even in today's day and age. I became an unpaid caregiver, but you have people like Camille that did choose that for a living. Now, anyone that chooses to become a personal care assistant, a nurse's aide, they're not doing it for the money. Because it seems to me, in today's day and age, we don't pay people that work in homes. I mean, there are more besides caregivers. There are companions, which is what I would think this couple was more of, companion. Picard is not young, and he does need some help, it appears, but he's not, he's not in a wheelchair, he's not in a bed. But having somebody in his house to help him remind him of things, help take care of him.
Lift heavy things.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're being forced into this at all. I really think they want to be there. I mean, if somebody saved my life and I wound up on a whole other planet, or we don't have different planets, say a whole other continent, and was willing to give me a job working in their estate, a beautiful estate, I'd jump at the chance. I'm assuming if it's like today's standards, where if you have like an au pair living in your house, an au pair is usually a person that will come live in your home, take care of your children or your housework or a little of both, help an elderly person, and they do this for room and board and a small amount of money. So I understand there's not supposed to be any money in the Picard Star Trek universe. That much I know. But I think that by equating those two people to slaves is doing an injustice to all the people that work in homes today. And many people, richer people, richer than me, that's for sure, that do have mansions, estates. They have many people that work in their home in different capacities, whether it be homeschooling their children, taking care of their children, taking care of an elderly person, just assisting a very busy household with the day-to-day workings. And I don't think they're bad jobs. I think those people should be respected. And I really feel that by equating them to slaves is doing them an injustice. That's basically all I have to say.
So Anti-Tracker texted in because
Yes.
he can't write.
Yeah, look,
He is
before you
listening.
tell me what he says, Anti-Tracker, I love you and I respect you for everything you do, except the Kuroga BS. I just, coming from my perspective, it hurt. That's all. Go ahead.
So Anti-Trigger said, hey, I have you on in the background. Let your mom know her perspective thing is dead on. I grew up in wine country in Northern California, which is exactly where Chateau Picard was filmed. The use and abuse of illegal immigrants was rampant by the wine-sniffing liberals, which is what I see on Picard, and why I do it in Kurdistan all the time. Okay, maybe that last line wasn't there, but so he says the use and abuse of illegal immigrants was rampant by wine-sniffing liberals, which is what he sees it on Picard.
Okay, well, that's why I basically said this is from my perspective. Not being...
Not everybody got to grow up in wine country.
Yeah. I mean, my neighborhood...
On the mean streets of Brooklyn.
Yeah. But I also have to say that our neighborhood was mixed, and the nicest house on the block, the biggest, the brick house with property all around it and like 3 balconies and porches, belonged to a family, a black family. His name was Dr. King. Not
related.
Well, I don't know if he was related to Martin Luther King, but it wasn't him. But it was Dr. King. And he had children like ages of myself and my brothers, but they did not go to the public school. They went to the private school. And no, they were not allowed to play with anybody from the neighborhood when they came home. Other than that, there were many other, I think the first boy I had a crush on was Hispanic, and I didn't know. I didn't know the difference. There wasn't no difference. The only reason I found out later that he was Hispanic was because of his last name. And, my aunt's last name, now she was my father's sister, her last name was Ortega. I didn't question, that, what ethnicity?
Ethnicity.
Yeah. The name was from, they were people. It was my aunt, my uncle, my neighbors. That was my perspective, and it still is. One time, I was in the supermarket, and I saw a man steal some stuff and run out the door, and the police came and questioned me. Well, I remembered everything. He had on a navy blue knit cap, a navy blue sweatshirt, jeans, sneakers. And they said, well, what was he? I said, he was a man. Well, what was he? White, black, Hispanic, Chinese? And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, I don't know. I looked at his clothes and the color of his skin didn't make an impression on me. He was a person. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the brightest bulb on the tree, but that's me. Thank you for letting me get this off my chest. I feel better. And you got the first, well, not view. You've seen me on camera before, but at least you're looking at people instead of sassy. Thank you.
So we have a few questions. And I guess that's Anti-Tricker again. But anyway, Alexander asked,
Yes.
he said, what do you think about MCU Aunt May?
Me?
Yeah, what do you think?
I have no idea.
That's the character Marissa Tomei played in those Spider-Man movies. We watched a couple of them.
I don't think much about her. I mean, she's a character, an actress. I liked her in Cousin Vinny, but...
Okay.
You know, I don't have any...
And there was one more I told him I would ask after. Oh, that's the one. That's the one I told him I'd ask. He asked a lot of questions, but yeah, Mama Prey really doesn't have a lot of opinions on most of what you asked about, Alexander.
And Kronos, no, Teddy is not Daddy O'Prey. I can see that one. I got close.
Yeah, no, it's not. Anyway, so Anti-Tricker says,
yes,
there's a major difference between California and New York City. The city I grew up in was majority Hispanic, and a large portion of them were migrant workers in the country illegally and being paid less than half of minimum wage. I would have to say we've had experience working alongside illegals.
Oh, yes.
Who were being paid less than minimum wage, probably.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
it happens pretty often in New York City.
Not
recently, but
not working in an outdoor job.
Yeah, not working on a farm, but
yeah.
You know, inside supermarkets, restaurants.
Yeah.
Those types of places all the time. I would say, depending on the neighborhood, the majority of the employees are probably illegal.
Yeah, and then many times they were paid less than minimum wage because they worked many, many hours a week.
Right. If they were official, you know, they'd have to be getting overtime and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but back in the day when it was so easy to cross the border, right?
Oh, yeah, those guys, we had many Mexicans working. Not for us. Don't get me wrong.
No, Mama Prey wasn't the boss.
No, I did not own the place.
She was an employee.
Right. But I did do the payroll. So I knew the ones that got the cash envelopes and the ones that got the checks. Just say that. And they would take vacation. I'd say, oh, where are you going? I'm going home. You going home? Well, when are you coming back? Oh, I'll be back in 2 weeks. How do you know you're going to be able to get back in 2 weeks? Oh, it's easy. Some of them, I mean, I don't know what ID they had. I mean, now in New York you can get a driver's license, but back in the day you could, whatever ID they had to get on a plane would fly from New York to San Diego and then basically walk into Mexico. But I don't know. Yeah, and back, and they'd be back on time. So I mean, I do know of illegal immigrants working.
Or at least used to work.
Yeah, I don't.
God knows, those places probably all closed down by now.
Yeah. No, now they're probably in the union.
That's true. Yeah, they were unionizing.
Yes. Anyway,
Anti-Trigger says, here is my challenge to Mama Prey.
Okay.
Many of those migrant workers were happy to get their $1.50 per hour, working 14-hour days. To them, it was a king's ransom. Is this okay? If no, what's the difference between them and the Romulan workers?
Okay. Well, first of all, the Romulan workers, I am not equating to illegal aliens. I'm equating them to people that work in other people's homes. Now, I don't know, supposedly what you use for money in Picard. What do you are they back to the barter system? Do you trade a bunch of grapes for, I don't know.
Presumably, if we listen to what Picard says, they don't use anything for money. People just do what they want to do.
Well, then,
for the most part.
That makes my point.
Now, it doesn't seem to hold up. Well, what if you want to have a big vineyard and raise grapes?
I have to go. Leave the thing up.
Okay,
because
I see, yes.
UPS is here and I've got to return.
Mom O'Prey will be back in a few minutes. But I'll read some comments and stuff. But just to finish what we were talking about. What were we talking about?
Okay, I directly want to know the difference.
Oh yeah, so the difference. I mean, if we listen to Picard, that there is no money in the future, people just do what they want to do. But that really falls apart because you say, well, what if 100 people want a French vineyard? There's not going to be enough vineyards to go around. I mean, okay, obviously there's more than 100 vineyards in France, but what if somebody wants a vineyard and there's everybody who wants a vineyard already has a vineyard? You can't just make more vineyards, right? So obviously that can't work like that. Picard's vineyard has been in his family for decades, if not centuries. And to be honest, and that is a big proof that the Federation is not communist. And people who say it's communist, they don't understand what communist is. Because communism means the state owns all property. The very fact that it's Chateau Picard and that Picard owns it is proof right there that the Federation isn't communist. The very fact that Joseph Sisko, it's okay, Sassy, Mom will be in a little bit, Mom will be in. That Joseph Sisko owns his own restaurant, that's proof it's not communist. And what if you say, well, I don't want to work in the restaurant, I want to own the restaurant? They're going to create a new restaurant for you to own? No. So clearly, despite what Picard says, there has to be some form of money exchange in the future. And the only way I can headcanonize it. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Sassy's going to bark until UPS is done. We had 3 packages to return from Amazon within a 2-day period after never returning any, and they're all being returned today. Oh, Sassy, please, baby. The only way I could headcanonize the fact that they had no money is that I think he just meant that they, and Kirk too in Star Trek 4, was to mean that they had, oh my God, to mean that they had no hard currency. Okay, let me move the microphone back towards me. They had no hard currency. There was no dollars. There was no bills. There was no coins. That it was a cashless society, if you will. Whether it was Bitcoin or just credits that were tied to your retinal scan, whatever it was. And I would bet that, for all the people who want to, make fun of Andrew Yang, I would bet that, listen, I think in 2020, I don't think we can afford to give money to everybody, a basic universal income. But I would imagine the Federation has a basic universal income that's enough so people can live and get by and, even have a basic life, with, food they want to eat and live in reasonably nice places and give them the opportunity, more than anything, an equal opportunity to attain education and to obtain skills so that they can move and go beyond just what the basics are. If you want the nicer house, you want the nicer, place to live, you want to buy a boat, as Scotty said, you're going to have to work for it. You still need some incentive to work. Now, whether that brings you to Starfleet or that brings you to owning a restaurant, that you've got to actually go into work for, or working on a vineyard. It's something. It's something. And I say that, unfortunately, it's a paradox, because what Picard has told us and what we see are two very different things. They cannot possibly exist together. You cannot have a federation that Picard explains away in that episode with the neutral zone, where they wake up the people who were in cryogenic sleep for 300 years, and he tells the Wall Street banker that, we don't have money anymore. The guy just wanted to call his bank. He's like, my bank will still be around. I need a copy of the Wall Street Journal. And he's like, no, we don't do that petty shit anymore. We don't. We just work to explore. So, well, I'm sorry, Picard. That doesn't fit in with what we see, because that would be a terrible, terrible future if everybody just got the equal amounts of everything. There wouldn't be enough on Earth for everybody. I mean, there wouldn't be enough on Earth for everybody to have and do what they want, right? Nobody's going to want to do some jobs, and everybody's going to want to do other jobs, right? A lot of people are going to want to be painters, but a lot of people are going to suck at being painters. A lot of people are going to want to be musicians, but they're going to suck at being musicians. So there has to be, you could say, well, yes, you have the opportunity to be a musician if you really want to do it, but you've got to put in the practice. You've got to have some type of natural talent. If you don't have the talent to be a musician, then they're not going to pay you, they're not going to let you play they're not going to rent out Carnegie Hall to you if you sing like me, right? That would be stupid. Nobody's going to do that. They're not going to rent out or give you access to whatever, the Federation Amphitheater, to sing if it's me trying to get up and sing. Okay? If you sing like Doomcock or Piano Dean, then yeah, they'd probably give you, and then you bring in your audience, and then yeah, that works. But there's got to be somebody, If there was nobody watching, no policing what's going on, and you let anybody do anything they want, society would fall apart. It would be a total train wreck. So, yeah, the only way I can deal with headcanon is that when he means we have no money, it means physical money. There is some type of universal basic income, and there are credits or whatever, and if you're a captain of maybe a captain of a starship and a commander and a lieutenant, maybe you get paid the same, right? Maybe there's no real difference in pay, but there's still pay for being in Starfleet versus not being in Starfleet. There's still pay for working with your hands, working and building something, working and doing something, fulfilling a need of society, and not doing that thing, right? If you're just sitting on your ass all day and reading or watching whatever they have, or the equivalent of television, and using maybe your one ration a month for holodeck time somewhere, you can live, you can have a decent life. And if you don't want to make anything of your life, so be it. Just stay out of everybody's way and you'll be fine. But if you want to get ahead, if you say, I don't want to have 1 hour a month in a holosuite, I want to own my own holosuite. There's got to be some way of doing it outside of leaving the Federation. And I would suspect that there is. I would suspect that there is. Is it all okay, Mom, okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Finally, it's all gone. Okay, so is there anything else you wanted to say, or is that... I was in the oh, right.
My point.
Okay, well, if you're going to talk, come back over here.
Yeah.
So here's the challenge again.
Okay.
The migrant workers were happy to get their $1.50 per hour for working 14-hour days. It was a king's ransom. Is this okay? And if not, what is the difference between them and the Romulan workers?
Okay. It's not okay because they were illegal. If they were citizens or allowed in this country legally, no one should be paid less than minimum wage.
Right.
But there are many jobs, that was the point I was trying to bring up, that minimum wage does not apply. If you're working in someone's home and you are receiving free room and board,
Right,
including
that's true.
all food,
Right, like an au pair.
right.
There's no minimum wage because you're getting food, you're getting board, you're getting some access transportation. They might even have to pay for some of your education depending on the program.
They do. Yeah.
So there's not a minimum wage. You say, well, I'm working 24/7, but I'm getting paid less than minimum wage. Well, it doesn't work like that. Also, I just want to point out, there is zero evidence that the Romulans are any type of illegal in Picard. They're probably on Earth completely legally.
That's what I'm saying.
They're just immigrants. They're not illegal immigrants.
Yeah, I didn't equate them to being illegal.
Right.
And I'm equating them to people today that work in the home in different capacities. I mean, damn, look at that place.
Who wouldn't want to work there? I'd love working there. In fact, I did work at one of those places. I worked at Mr. Frank's house in California half the year. It was beautiful. It was in Rancho Santa Fe, California, the highest class zip code in the country at the time. Greatest income. Every day we would look out over the entire valley of Rancho Santa Fe, where would be this infinity pool. People could knock golf balls out. There were horses and stuff below. It was the most beautiful view you could imagine. Captain Redneck says less than 7% of people in America are working for minimum wage. Only 1.5% of those are trying to support a family. The minimum wage argument is null. I grant you. I'm not personally. I think minimum wage is literally is already too high.
Well,
but that's a different issue.
Wait, my point is saying that there are many, many people today that choose jobs that they are either caring for another person, or in just say Camille's case, Camille works as a personal care assistant in a nursing home. That is not a well-paid job, but her worth for the help she's giving the people that she works, that are her patients, is so much more important than the dollar figure on her paycheck. And right. there are people that
they go above and beyond.
But yes, and people that go above and beyond by moving in. There are full-time companion aides for sick people. They don't make a lot of money, but they are living, and they're also not paying mortgage or rent themselves. The ones that are full-time live-in, it's a trade-off. You don't make a lot of money, but you don't need a lot of money.
Right. So I would say to Anti-Trigger,
it's two different things.
You're worrying about minimum wage, fine, but then you say, how do you account for the fact that they're living in what looks like relative luxury? You know, that they're getting what would be equivalent of a very expensive, apartment rent-free. So Anti-Trigger asks, in the Countdown comic, is there any mention if the Romulans on the Vineyard are legal? Well, no, they don't mention if they're legal or illegal, but being that they're on the Vineyard and apparently they interacted with the police or some type of security that brought Picard back to them, it makes sense that they are illegal. It's not like they were hiding. They weren't hiding from the press. When the press came in the first episode of Picard, they didn't say, we got to run. We got to run. The Federation press is coming here that we can't be seen. No, they were perfect. They were 100%.
Is illegal still a thing in that century?
I mean, I would imagine that if you live on, if you're not a Federation citizen, you probably need some type of approval to be on Federation world.
We got off track to the point, and that anti-trucker is listening. I'm just saying, again, by equating that couple to slaves, it's kind of like degrading to anyone that chooses that type of a job. If it's my choice to work in someone's home and make their dinner, make their breakfast, tend to their garden, I might love that kind of thing. Maybe I don't want to go out and fight traffic for 3 hours each way to a job, no matter what it pays me. Maybe I don't like going out in the freezing cold. I don't. But, there are so many other things, and I just think that we're not giving the people that have these type of jobs the respect that they deserve for either the help they're giving the person they're helping, nor the fact that this is their choice, and they may be happy.
Okay.
On that note, guys, I've got to go back in the kitchen. This has been wonderful. And I thank you all, and I'm seeing some of your comments and the ones I can get really close enough to read. Kronos. Oh, we have 34 people watching.
Yes.
Aw. Thank you, guys.
41 at one point.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, boy. How many down things do you have? Thumbs down?
I don't know.
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
I hope I didn't screw up.
Doesn't matter. The more down votes, the better. It really doesn't matter. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, what's Mama Prey think about Asian Muslim wife born in the USSR be the best choice?
Okay, I will agree with Anti-Trucker here. For you, Alexander, I'm sure it's the best choice. And if that was Bird's choice too, I would be fine with it. I'm happy with anyone, as long as they're not a mean, rotten person. I am great with them. And I won't say if they're a criminal, because I've even known some criminals I didn't mind.
Anti-Dragon says, Mama Prey, the reason I find it so offensive, frankly, is because I know, and so does Bird, that the Romulans are directly based on Mexicans in this show.
How do you know that?
They said that the Romulans were going to be, I don't know if they specifically said Mexicans, but they were going to be a stand-in for anyway, Sci-Fi Nation, excuse me. Dear Bob, you get my donation. Oh, I'll have to get it later. Because Anti-Trade called me a dirty Kurogan yesterday. Hail Kuroga, glorious leader. I'll read the rest in a minute, but yeah, the producers said that the Cromulans are going to be some type of stand-in for immigration issues. I don't think they specifically said Mexican, but...
Okay. Well, you see, that's info I did not have. So I will still stick to my ground on my perspective of seeing them. And Anti-Trekker's remark, made me think, wow, we got all these other people choosing this. What about a farmer? Hey, DJ, are you here? Yes.
Yes, DJ is
DJ,
there.
you are here. Is anybody forcing you to work on a farm? If it is, just, give me some kind of hint if you can't talk.
Yeah, if you're being forced to work on the farm, DJ.
Just type in, I am the father. On that note, guys, I really got to go back inside. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Anyway, Captain Redneck says, Bird of Prey, what do you think about the new Trump-style hat? Make Star Trek great again. I've had the hat that says Make Klingons great again for a long, long time. I think that's a fine hat. I don't think it's new. I mean, they've been able to have hats that said Make anything great again for a long, long time.
Did you send one too?
I sent out, Captain Redneck knows. In fact, Captain Redneck, well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, but Captain Redneck surely knows that I had those hats. Sci-Fi Nation with his $5 donation. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. Says, Dear Bob, you got my donation today because reasons. Some evil turd-stained dictator tot called me an evil, dirty Kurogan yesterday. Hail, glorious Kuroga, and Bird, our dear leader and God Emperor. P.S. Kuroga National Anthem is the best anthem. Hi, Mama Pray.
Hello.
That was Sci-Fi Nation. Thank you, Sci-Fi Nation. And she also says hello to Mrs. Sci-Fi Nation. Alexander says, thank you, Mama Pray, confirming Asian Muslim wife in the USSR is the best choice. Okay, guys. I am sorry. Well, first, I'm not sorry because Mama Pray wanted to talk and Mama Pray got to talk, and I'm sure you guys all preferred hearing from Mama Pray than me. Of course, we are now too far back in the chat to even attempt to read it all, but I will read some. Life What Matters says, Bird of Prey, oh no, you got the Chinese snake. I read that. The snake cold flu thing. Trick 95 says, greetings, Bird of Prey. Greetings, Trick 95. Chronos says, Bird of Prey, glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's not the stomach flu. It's not the stomach flu. Okay, so Avenue 5, it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Watch the second episode now. I did not see any improvement in the show. Yeah, there were a couple of chuckles. But watching a 30-minute comedy on HBO, I'm sorry, I expect more than a couple of chuckles. If I'm going to be paying $15 a month for HBO, there's no other TV show that I would be paying HBO for right now. So you better do more than a couple of chuckles. And Avenue 5 isn't doing it. Veep was far funnier so far than Avenue 5. Silicon Valley, far funnier than Avenue 5. And I love you, Laurie, as an actor, but he doesn't bring a hell of a lot to this. To be honest, my favorite character after 2 episodes now is Ethan Phillips, who played Neelix. Neelix is the funniest character on the show, and it tells you something that he's the best character, because he's not designed. He's not supposed to be the best character. He's a supporting character at best. And he steals it for me. But so I mean, listen, if you get HBO already because of some other reason and you want to watch Avenue 5, then sure, go ahead. But I most certainly would not buy an HBO subscription just to watch Avenue 5, nor would I keep an HBO subscription just to watch Avenue 5. It's not nearly good enough. I don't know. We'll see if future episodes change. I mean, they're weekly. But so far, 2 episodes in, I am not impressed. Shrowmore says, the Yellow Cake Uranium Orphans of Kuroga shall not be forgotten. Killed by the dastardly Turdistanis. We have worked long and hard, making enough orphans to replace them. Hail Kuroga. Hail Bird of Prey 5. Hail Kuroga. Thank you, Shrowmore. Cronus is Bird of Prey 5. How is it you have so many minors? There's a lot of orphans in Turdistan. Resolute Germ says, Captain George. Thank you. Yes, Captain George.
Oh, I knew that's who you were.
Oh, you knew I was talking about Captain George?
Yes, but you were saying other things I didn't know.
Because I forgot the name. Yes, Captain George. Thank you. Number 1 sci-fi says, Holy Jeep is your new catchphrase. Number 1 sci-fi, I like the commercial. It was a funny commercial, but I don't anticipate saying Holy Jeep ever again in my life. It was funny for what it was, but I don't think it's nearly funny enough to be a catchphrase. But if you enjoy it, you know, good. I'm happy for you. I enjoyed it. I did. It just Not that funny. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mamo Prey, Sessio Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Sci-Fi Nation. Although I already did speak to you. Kronos says, I don't care about your opinion, Bird of Prey. Wow. Wow, that hurt. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, in Enterprise, there was no 7 of 9. That is true, but there was T'Pol, Alexander. I'm surprised that didn't do anything for you. Epic Beard like Trip, very cool. I'm glad when people like Trip. Metapsychosis, Kaplan Metapsychosis. You seem new around here. You like Trip too. Very cool. You love Trip, in fact. And yes, there's Chrono saying there was T'Pol. I like Enterprise was a really great show. Every time I watch it, it gets better. It gets better. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, is this Jar Jar life? Well, it's bed life, Alexander. If it was Jar Jar life, you'd be seeing the jar graphic instead of me in bed. And then we got to where Mamo Prey started talking. Thomas is Bird of Prey. Are you the balding guy or the bear? And Alexander asks Mamo Prey, what does Mamo Prey think about Jar Jar Binks? She has no idea. I imagine you have no idea who Jar Jar Binks is. She has no idea. He was a character in one of the Star Wars prequels from the 90s. Aberjam says, Mamo Prey looks young enough to be your sister. She
Tell him not anymore.
She says not anymore, Aberjam, but that was a very good picture for all of us, so it was a good one. Alexander says Bird of Prey. I read that one. What does she think about MCU? Aunt May. Sci-Fi Nation says, no, apparently during the narration on my video, it only recorded 1 channel instead of 2. Gotcha. Yeah, Sci-Fi Nation put out a video early this morning, if I recall. It was a very good video. I didn't realize that he was only getting audio through 1 speaker, but apparently he was. Still, you guys should check him out. Check out the channel, check out the video. Epic Beard is going to resub because there's Mamo Prey stories. Well, thank you. Sci-Fi Nation's Bird of Prey, I put headphones. It was only coming through 1 side. Well, I didn't notice, but that's good that you know now, Sci-Fi Nation. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, what's Mamo Prey think about I read that. Asian Muslim wife being the best choice. Kronos says, Mamo Prey, Bird of Prey is your son. No! Yeah, I'm the son. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, tell Mom that she is mirroring my thoughts about it. 2 points for you, Joseph. Epic Beard says, you're 100% correct, Mamo Prey. Kronos says, Mamo Prey, we don't speak of other planets. Wow. Sci-Fi, you tell him, Mamo Prey. Thomas says, Kuroga BS, Mamo Prey. Oh, she meant Anti-Tracker when he talks about Kuroga BS. Yeah, he's BSing about Kuroga. Actor says at least 50% of Anti-Tracker streams is trying to humiliate her son. Just saying. She knows, but still, it comes from a good place. Kronos is saying this is awesome sauce when you were talking. Carlos says, hello, Bird of Prey 5, Mamo Prey 5, Sessio Prey, and Sister of Prey. I hope you're all well and everybody else is well. Well, Carlo, I'm getting over hopefully I'm getting over some type of short duration cold. I hope I'll be okay tonight. It was a bad day, but I'm feeling okay right now. And Sister O'Prey is still at work, but I'm sure she'll be okay. She's actually getting ready to go to Mexico this week. Yeah, she is to go to Mexico for a wedding. Cronus is Sci-Fi. Glad to be witness to this. Definitely. Oh, that's harsh on Anti-Tracker. Who was worried about it being harsh? No, not. Oh, and now the YouTube window totally died on me, which means I probably lost most of the chats. I gotta go back. Let's see. Well, it doesn't help that you have them. Anyway, Alexander says, Bird of Prey, what's Mamo Prey think about... Oh, I read that. I read that. So then, how come harsh? Harsh. Huh. I don't understand. Oh well. We'll just keep going. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, thanks to Mama Prey to confirm Asian Muslim wife in the USSR is the best choice. Chrono says, Sassy wills it. Wow. DJ says, the only thing good about Kuroga is Mamo Prey and Sisso Prey. And Sci-Fi Mamo Prey says, of course you can call her mom. That's her name. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, how is the Picard comic? Maybe I'll buy it. Alexander, I'd say, I mean, for what? For $5 an issue, it's worth buying. I guess it fills in some of the backstory, but if you don't want to buy it, just watch I did 2 reviews on it where I tell you everything that happens in the comic. So it does fill in some of the info on Picard. Unfortunately, the 3rd issue, which was supposed to be out a week before Picard episode 1 premiered, was delayed for production reasons. So it's actually going to come out supposedly this Wednesday. Which means this Wednesday I have to rush to make a Picard Countdown number 3 review. And then Thursday I will have to do a Picard episode 2 review. So it's going to be a busy week for Picard stuff. But I do expect that the 3rd Countdown comic will give us some more, vital info on the show. I hope it does, else it's been a complete waste. Although, even what I've seen so far, honestly, the first issue is where you get almost all your answers. The second issue, the only thing you really find out about is why Laris and Zhaban, are with Picard. Captain Redneck is laughing his ass off at Anti-Trekker. You can't be serious. In Temecula, California, migrant workers on the vineyard start at $19.50 an hour, plus benefits. Give me a break. Wow. Number 1 sci-fi. Tell Mama Prey I lost my mom when I was still young and would consider it an honor to call her mom. That was number 1 sci-fi. That wasn't Sci-Fi Nation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so number 1 sci-fi. You can call her mom too. She confused. She apologizes. She apologizes profusely for confusing you with Sci-Fi Nation. But yeah, one person's number 1 sci-fi, and she's also very sorry you lost your mom early. She did as well. Mama Prey's mom passed away when she was quite young. Yes, you share that. Alexander says Neelix is always the best character after 7 of 9. Well, okay. He certainly is on Avenue 5. I'll give you that. Kennewick says Bill Murray is filming a Jeep commercial for the Super Bowl. You know, Kennewick, this might be the first year I don't watch the Super Bowl in a long, long, long time. Honestly, I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. I used to watch for the football. First, I used to watch for the commercials. Then I used to watch for the football. And then I started watching for the commercials again. And last year and the year before, like, every commercial sucked ass. And the good commercials came out early anyway. So there was no reason to watch the Super Bowl. And I couldn't care less between the 49ers and whoever the hell they're playing. I don't even remember. So I don't know if I'll watch it. I'll probably live stream during the Super Bowl if no one else is. I watched the Puppy Bowl, but the Puppy Bowl comes on before the Super Bowl. So yeah, I did live stream last year. We live streamed talking about the commercials, and they all sucked. Yeah. It was a pretty boring stream. Thomas's Bird of Prey, add Vile Mike to Certified Nerds. Vile Mike, well, we usually have a 100 subscriber minimum. If he's got that and he wants to be on, then yes, please let me know, Vile Mike. I will double check your channel later, but if I forget, please let me know. And if you don't have the 100, but you're close, let me know anyway. Maybe we can do something. Epic Beard says, I heard Beagle Bites factory workers are only paid $3 per hour. There's no Beagle Bites factory. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. Kapla, he says, hail brother, hail Loki. Guys, I don't know if Loki's still here, but Loki does a great morning show Monday through Friday on YouTube. If you're Eastern time, it's, I don't know, around 10 a.m. Eastern maybe. It's an early show. It comes on generally before everyone else I know who streams, and he does great shows. So check out. I'm subscribed to Loki. I watch his streams. I'm at them almost every day that he does them. Subscribe to Loki and check out his channel. A relatively new channel, but he's doing great live streams. He almost always has a guest. And with or without the guest, it's a good time. So check him out, please. I'm glad you made it, Loki. Because before this, fair point, right before I started this and I was working on everything, Doomcock had his not Rational Roundtable, that's Anti-Trigger, had his Doomcock Roundtable going on today, or Power Hour, or something he does, but only for his patrons. So we were all in Discord talking, and I told everybody I had to leave in a few minutes. Doomcock let me go early, so it was very nice of him. And he told everybody to subscribe to me, and I got quite a few new subscribers today. Thank you to Doomcock, and Loki was one of them. So I'm assuming the Doomcock Power Hour has ended, which I was pretty close to the end when I left. So thank you for showing up, Loki. I'm sorry I was so far behind on the chat, but it happens sometimes. DJ says, hail Loki, and DJ and Loki, you guys should get together, because DJ does live streams too. I don't know I don't know if the timing would be good for DJ, but you should try to see if you get DJ on your stream. I don't know if you're interested, DJ. But DJ or Sci-Fi Nation, they are great live streamers, and they've got all the software, figured out. There's a lot of great live streamers, but DJ and Sci-Fi Nation would be two I would suggest to put on the short list. Epic Beards is Bird of Prey. I have a question. Why is Pug wearing a Beagle shirt? Well, I'm not a Pug. I'm not a Pug. I'm wearing a Sassy shirt that you can buy at the official Bird of Prey 5 merch store on birdofprey5.com. You click the link to my Teespring store, and you can buy all types of Bird of Prey merchandise, including the Sassy collection, which has t-shirts and mugs and bags, and I don't know what the hell else we put in. I put Sassy on everything. Phone covers, spatulas. I don't know about spatulas. Stickers. It's all there. It's all there. Whatever we could monetize, we monetize. We monetize with pictures of Sassy. We monetize with my head in a jar. We monetize with my quotes. All good stuff. Kronos is DJ. Congrats, by the way. Well, he's not the father. Kennewick says, since Anti-Trigger is here, Romulan Star Empire must have been big, as Picard in the Defector thought war with Romulus might mean the end of the Federation, like Emperor Honorius in 5th century Rome. Yeah, the problem with that, Kennewick, is while I totally agree they portrayed the Romulans as being this big, massive power, and they certainly had big, massive ships, and everything they did, like they wrote the Romulans as if they were the equal of the Klingon Empire or the Federation in terms of their size and number of planets. the fact is, for decades, even if you go back, if you look at old Star Trek BBS posts where people were asking how big is the Romulan Empire, even 15, 20 years ago, people trying to figure it out during the time of TNG and DS9, they could only find 10 confirmed planets in Romulan Empire, and they didn't suspect it was much bigger than that, which is not how they wrote it, but unfortunately, I'd say, does kind of fall into Anti-Trekkers' theory that they are not as big an empire as we are led to believe. And yes, Captain Redneck, apparently Anti-Trekker. See, I was on a stream with Anti-Trekker, Captain Foley, and myself, and Captain Foley picked up his pug, so the pug was like right next to my head because we had the screen cut in 3. And the Anti-Trekker said, "Oh my God, that pug looks exactly like Bird of Prey 5. And so in that instant, apparently I became Pug-O Prey. Whatever. It was a very cute pug, so I'm actually touched. I wish I looked that cute. I'd get a lot more women if I looked like that pug. But that's where Pug-O Prey came from. That's where Pug-O Prey came from. And yeah, so there's a lot of debate on the Romulan Empire. I want to say, oh, it's got at least 100 planets. Maybe 500, maybe 1,000, but apparently every time you look into it, it just collapses. There's really no Romulan empires. But then again, and I hesitate to even say this because I don't want it to sound racist or anything-ish. But, right, in World War II, what did we call Japan? We called it the Empire of Japan. Would we call it the Empire of Japan today? No, we would not. I mean, did it really own that much land? No, it had a few islands and I think a little land on the Chinese mainland. But it's hard. It's hard to call it an empire, right? We don't even call the United States an empire. We called Great Britain an empire for a while. They conquered, they had land all across the globe. Okay, the Empire of Japan, that was just a country that wanted to name itself an empire. And look, I get it. I get it. When I was a kid, I declared my bedroom an empire. Mama Pray's laughing because she remembers. It was my empire. Okay, it had its own constitution. I had the constitution of Joey's room, and yes, I used Joey at the time, ticked to a bulletin board in my bedroom. So I was the empire of Bird of Prey 5, right? You could say. You know, people can just use that. It doesn't mean that you're actually a great giant nation, a great giant power. It just means... It just means that you call yourself an empire. Okay.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, you can interrupt, Mama Pray.
What did you have hanging next to the Constitution on the bulletin board? The house you were going to build, and what did it look like?
Oh, right, that's true. So, Mama Pray, remembering the bulletin board, there were a lot of things on that bulletin board. But one of them was I had done like architecture plans for the house I intended to build. It had I remember it had an enclosed square or garden or something. It had a pool, but it had like a court, or what's that called? No, not balcony, but when something surrounds it, like a square, or the building is around it on all 4 sides. You can only get into, like Murrow had one. What did we call that? The people the bad kids who would go out and smoke. The courtyard, yes, they had a courtyard. Yeah, okay, all right. The house was shaped like a spaceship, but there was like an open courtyard. Anyway, the point was it was the empire. It also, I had the letters in black vinyl just saying victorious, going across the top wall. Actually, it was going across the vent that ran across the ceiling. It just said victorious in big, bold, black vinyl letters. Why did it say victorious? I don't know. I don't know. It's the type of things they did. I mean, I also had those ropes running so I could turn the lights on and off from the bed without having to walk up the steps. It was some weird stuff going on. Some weird stuff going on. So Anti-Tracker says, hey, Bird, consider this. The Romulans were a military dictatorship. If the United States decided to send its entire navy out, it would be thousands of ships. Now multiply that by a whole planet, now 10 planets. Meanwhile, the Federation was mostly pacifist during TNG. It seems like you're missing a point of some sort. So the Romulans were a military dictatorship. Actually, Anti-Tracker, they were a republic. It was the Romulan Republic. They were not a dictatorship. That's quite clear. I mean, that's Canon 101. They were senators. They were elected senators. They were not a dictatorship. But that doesn't really matter. They were militaristic. Senators or not, they were militaristic. If the United States decided to send its entire navy out, it would be thousands of ships. I don't know. I don't know. Do we have thousands of navy ships? I don't think we do. I mean, maybe if you count tugs or whatever, but if you're just talking destroyers, aircraft carriers, and submarines, I don't think we have anywhere close to 1,000 ships. I don't think we have thousands for sure. Actual, like, real, like, you know, comparison to Federation vessels, not counting shuttlecraft, but actual starships, I don't think we have thousands. I think it's quite a bit smaller. Because I remember seeing a poster, not, you know, maybe 10 years ago, that had every active ship in the Navy, and including every aircraft from every aircraft carrier, printed on a poster, and it was just the profile of every ship and every plane and every submarine in the Navy. And it was a lot, but it wasn't thousands. So Federation was mostly pacifist. Yeah, but I don't understand what that's supposed to mean. So the Federation was pacifist, the Romulans were expanding. Sorry, auto-corrected. He meant to say hundreds, not thousands. Okay, so decided to send out, there would be hundreds of ships. I just don't understand the point or the question. Captain Redneck says, Bird of Prey, to be honest, I'm just wondering what Mama Prey is cooking in the kitchen.
Turkey.
Turkey. It's a turkey night. Rice-a-roni and turkey. Turkey breast. And Anti-Trigger has to go. Don't forget Dear Bop. Or did Anti-Trigger say that, or somebody else say that? I think somebody else said that. Thomas says, I have to go. Don't forget, Dear Bop, U.S. Navy has 490 active ships. Thank you so much, Thomas Potts. So, I was right. Even when I thought, you know, even when somebody was telling me differently, I was right. Ken Redneck says, Bird Prey, I'm just wondering what Mama Prey's cooking. No, not meatloaf. It's turkey breast and rice-a-roni and probably some other stuff. Broccoli. John Street says, Bird of Prey, watch out. DJ knows about the wedding. Cecil Prey is going to come back with DJ's wife. Is going to come back. No, he said with DJ's wife. Oh, he knows about the wedding in Mexico. So he's going to go down to Mexico and marry Cecil Prey. Good luck with that, DJ. Good luck. Alexander says, Bird of Prey, I would like to buy the Picard comics, but it may have to wait for TPB. I don't know what TPB is. Payday tomorrow? Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it can wait. It's whenever you buy them, you buy them. Resolute says, Bird of Prey, no rush on the countdown review. Most people have forgotten about that. I know. I guess it'll really depend as to what issue 3 reveals. If issue 3 doesn't reveal anything we don't already know because we watched the show, then maybe I'll just put up a 2-minute review that says, yeah, Countdown 3 was a complete letdown. Don't waste your money on it. But if it actually reveals something of use, then I will have to do a video. Now, I'll be honest, it's not going to be as long a video as I did for Countdown 1 and 2 because it'd just be too busy. But we will still put something out. Ginger Switch is here. Kapla Ginger Switch. Admiral Saval says, did you hear about Kobe Bryant? Yes, Admiral Saval. I did. I heard about Kobe Bryant. I heard about his daughter. Very unfortunate. I heard about the other family on the plane that lost a husband, a wife, and a daughter with the plane on the helicopter. That was very sad. And I'm sure the other 2 or 3 people who have not heard anything about, I'm as equally sad for them. I'll be honest, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but Kobe Bryant didn't really, I don't feel more bad because Kobe Bryant died than I do for anyone else on that helicopter. I didn't know Kobe Bryant personally. He had no particular effect on my life. I'm not saying he was a bad person. I know a lot of people, beloved fans of him. I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for him. Sure, if William Shatner died, I would feel terribly heartbroken when that day happens, assuming he dies before I do, which I expect he will, hopefully, only because that would mean I would die extremely young if it doesn't. But, you know, when William Shatner dies, I'm going to be very heartbroken. And I'm like, well, why? Because William Shatner wouldn't give a shit if I died. So I'm not saying that. Like, I could say, well, you know, Kobe Bryant wouldn't give a shit if you died. Why do you feel bad for Kobe Bryant? I know. Because a lot of people, he was a celebrity. A lot of people loved Kobe Bryant. I was one of them. I knew the name. He was born in 1978, the same year I was. So you know what? It hit a little close to home. That, oh my God, this guy's dead. He was born the same year I was. But that's all I knew about him, is that he played for the Lakers. And I definitely don't want to accidentally call it the Knicks, because you do that and you could be fired. Although, apparently she wasn't fired, just to be clear. I feel bad for his wife, the other children, the rest of the family. I feel bad for the other families. I feel probably a little bit more bad for those other families, because you know what? Kobe Bryant's family isn't going to have to worry about money. They might. I don't know. I don't know if they will. I don't know what their situations were, right? But I can tell you, I know Kobe Bryant's family isn't going to be wanting or needing for anything except their loving father for a while. Whereas the other people will have to deal with the same emotional loss and may have a lot harder time dealing with it financially. Yes, I've heard about Kobe Bryant, but to be frank, I care more about that his daughter died with him, and I care most about the other family's daughter. You know, whenever a kid dies, it's more tragic to me than an adult. And whenever anybody dies, it's tragic. But Kobe Bryant versus any other random person on the street really wouldn't make that big of a difference. Actually, wouldn't make any difference to my level of sadness. Actor says to Captain Redneck, I just found out that pineapple on pizza was invented by Canadians. That explains something to you. Wow. Kronos says Loki is still alive. He is, and he's doing morning streams. Number one Sci-Fi says, Bird of Prey, tell Mom Prey that I love her. perspective on the Romulans. They are working for Picard because he saved them, and they would do anything for him. And I would say even that, though, they're working for Picard, I think, because they want to work for Picard. Because this is as close to a life as they can get again. Right? They thought they would probably, like, let's face it. If your entire planet is destroyed, and you don't have a country anymore, right? For Americans, the closest thing we can think of is if the Yellowstone supervolcano erupted, and we were all displaced. Like, lots of people died, but if you were lucky, you got on a boat, and it was taking you somewhere else, like Australia. Okay? So you land in Australia, and there's a lot of Australians who kind of resent all of these Americans coming in. But you have a good friend in Australia, and he says, hey, come stay with me. I've got extra rooms. And by the way, you were a electrical engineer? Well, I run an electrical engineering company. Come, work for me. Or stay with me, live in my home, work for my company. And you'd be like, great. I mean, as terrible as it is to know that the United States was just blown up by a supervolcano and that there are millions and millions dead, to land in Australia and actually be working in the field you chose to work in, know somebody, be friendly with somebody who's offered to let you stay with them, you are better than 99.9% of the American survivors. Okay, that is a lucky day for you. As shitty as it is that your country is gone, you could not have hoped to win. I mean, there's no better. That was the best possible case you could have expected. Okay, you won the lottery. So they need to do it. And whether he saved my life or not, or I saved his life or not, really wouldn't figure into it. I think they were just happy to have a friend who was in the vineyard business and was willing to let them work for, live and work with them. Thomas's Bird of Prey, Vile has 111, and it's Monday, dear. Okay, so Vile Mike, I will double check with you, Vile, but assuming you're okay with it, we will add you to the Certified Nerds list. Post haste. Yes, okay, so we got to get to some Dear Bops. Kronos' Bird of Prey, Mama Prey really helped you. Yes, she did. Mama Prey brought in the people, and they're still here. They're still here. Thank you, guys. Kronos' Bird of Prey, did I try to annoy you with that? I didn't notice anything annoying. Captain Breadnax's Bird of Prey, try Kobe beef. I know. I first thing I hear when I hear Kobe, I was like, oh, Kobe beef? Oh, Kobe Bryant. But I won't, now I'll feel more sad. Carlos's Bird of Prey is giving away U.S. Navy secrets. I wondered when someone would say that. Number one sci-fi says Romulan Empire sounds like a dictatorship to me. Well, number one sci-fi, I will grant you, it's easy to think that. But we know the Romulans have elections, and we know they have a Senate. So it's not a dictatorship. It is by definition not a dictatorship. It is a republic by all definitions. It is a republic. Now it could be a republic that has a very strong military, and there could be divided loyalties. The military could have more control than the civilian government, but it is a republic. It is not a dictatorship. Shinzon briefly took control and could have been a temporary dictator, but I'm sure after he was killed, you would think it went back. We have no evidence that it stayed a dictatorship after Shinzon's death. By all logic, it would have gone back to the Republic, which it was for hundreds of years. Actress's Bird of Prey, did you see Lore Reloaded's video calling our favorite DS9 Taylor a monster? I think I've seen all Lore's videos up to this date, although if it was released today, I might not have seen it. Lore Reloaded even calls Cisco a monster, so I love Lore, don't get me wrong. I love his videos, most of them, and I love listening to him, but we have some very different opinions on Deep Space Nine. Alexander says, bird of prey, then exists a monkey o' prey. I don't know what we're talking about. Monkey o' prey. Admiral Saval says, and also some parts of India, too. Admiral Saval says, example of Japan had Korea as an annexed territory, and the Philippines and parts of India, too. Okay, but still, in my opinion, does not an empire make. Actors says, bird of prey, you are self-proclaimed God Emperor of your domains, can be reached by throwing a stone feebly. That might be true. I no comment. No comment. Alexander's bird of prey, Japan occupied Korea. Okay. Carlos says, at least the alpacas went away. Sci-Fi Nations, technically, DJ said first in the stream. Okay, well, I didn't see that because the comment was gone. Thank you, DJ. Okay, so now we got to get to the Dear Bops. Resolute Germ says, if Yellowstone goes, if Yellowstone goes, human civilization goes with it. Well, it's debatable, Resolute. Anti-Trigger says, bird of prey, you left off the most important point of my message, assuming the Romulans had given just 1,000 warbirds per planet and have 5 planets, they would outgun the Federation 10-1. Why would they have 100 warbirds per planet? And just to be clear, okay, now your phone number doesn't appear anywhere on here, only your name, which is fine. But okay, you're not gonna be able to see it. But that message did not come into my phone. Okay, you can't see it; it's too bright. But that message did not come into my phone. You said, in best of both worlds, the Federation struggled to get 40 starships to defend Earth. Yes, but that's because all the other starships were doing something really important. And let's face it, those are starships that are within, what, a day, 2 days notice of warp? I mean, if they were more than 3 days out, they wouldn't have made it. So that doesn't mean that the Federation doesn't have hundreds or thousands of ships. Not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds or thousands. But again, like I said, the Romulans were written to be a much bigger empire than they were in honesty. I mean, because let's face it, Anti-Trigger, the entire Romulan fleet that went with the Cardassians to destroy the Founders' homeworld, those were only Tal Shiar ships. Those weren't even Romulan military ships. So they had an entire fleet of ships that wasn't even on the books. And that fleet could probably attack Earth or could have done some serious damage to any other planet they went to, except they went to a trap. Because the Romulans knew they were coming, the Founders knew they were coming. So if it had gone to any other planet, they would have done some serious kick-ass damage. So that is not a power that can just lose, 30, 40, 50 ships and only have 10 planets. I grant you, it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. They're not written correctly. They don't make sense. They write them as an empire, but they show them as a small, relatively unimportant power. Like honestly, I would say Cardassia had a bigger empire than the Romulans, and that's not how they're written. Carl says, I think Romulans friends with Picard look after him like friends, and Romulans are running like friends and Romulans are running the vineyards, and Picard is the owner, but the Romulans are there to feel like they are home. Yeah, I'm sure Picard was doing it to be nice to them. Sci-Fi Bird Prey, according to Anti-Tracker, Romulan Star Empire only had 2 planets. And this yeah, well, I will grant you there's some things on that map that make it look like it's 2 planets. But there are a lot of dots on that map that Anti-Tracker ignores that are clearly stars. And there's more than 2 stars within the Romulan Empire behind the neutral zone. So I don't know how you can say that there's only 2 planets when there's a bunch of different dots. And what can the dots represent? I don't think those dots represent asteroids or comets. Those were meant to represent stars. So, and to say that the neutral zone was literally up against the Romulan Oort cloud, again, I know you found a map anti-trekker and a cosmologist, and the math works. But do you really think whoever drew that map for Balance of Terra knew what the hell they were drawing? Do you think they were using to scale? I don't. I think it's a happy coincidence that it happens to work out. The math happens to work out to your preferred theory. I think the Romulan Empire was supposed to be an empire with multiple star systems. But whatever. Can I prove it? No, I can't. Nobody can prove it. So it's just what you're willing to accept. Multi-Gunman says, hey Bird, how's it going? It's going good, Multi-Gunman. Yeah, we're going a little late, but that's cool because Anti-Trekker is going to be a little late tonight. Epic Beard says, Dear Bop, are you reading Dear Bop? Yes, I'm reading Dear Bop right now. I think. And I'd really love to read some news articles, but let's see. Dear Bop, to sign in. How many Dear Bops? Okay, not terrible. Let's see, does Dear Bop work? Yes, it does. So here we go, guys. Welcome to Dear Bop. Well, it's not terribly. I mean, it's later. It's late to start Dear Bop. I will tell you that. Anti-Trekker. Okay, so Anti-Trekker texted Kirk's log. The neutral zone separates Romulans and Remus from the rest of the galaxy. So I said, his theory. Then what were the dots? Dear Bop, this is the head of the orphan management team. I will immediately increase the daily work hours to prevent their poor time management. P.S. They have set up camp in the septic tank for some reason and believe they have taken over a valuable part of the mine. They have then proceeded to name a rat Aberjam and set him free, though they later caught it and ate it. You see, this is probably where that fake news is coming from, that the Krogan miners have revolted and freed Aberjam, although Aberjam was never being held in Kroga to begin with. So clearly we just have these are clearly some miners who have become ill, possibly from the fact that they weren't working hard enough. They've become bored and lazy and they had to make up things. So they probably started playing some type of war game where they took over a septic tank pretending it was like a bunker. So these poor orphans, they will get the medical attention they need, and we will increase their amount of work they do very quickly, so that they are no longer bored on the job. It's good. See, in Kroga, we take care of our ill. If you are tired, send us your bored and you're tired and you're orphans, is what the great statue of me says. And then we will give them work. Dear Bop, I like your new name, Puggo Prey 5. It's a much better name. Honestly, it's not a terrible name, but I'm not going to use it because I'm Birdo Prey 5. But thank you, I guess. Dear great leader of Kroga, this is your rocket. I mean space engineering research team leader. We are ready for your trip to the moon. Please come down to the launch site at your earliest convenience your faithful Kerbal Space Engineer. This seems a little suspicious. Sci-Fi Nation says, I know you have dinner after, dear Bob, but you're welcome on my stream after you finished up with that. No streaming until you're done here. Oh, very cool, Sci-Fi Nation. Thank you. I will probably come on then after I eat dinner. I will probably. So, guys, when I do end streaming, I guess Sci-Fi Nation will stream between me and Anti-Tricker. So make sure you're subscribed to him. He can post in his link when he's ready. I'm going to do Dear Bop. I'd like to, if I have time, get to a few articles I want to talk about, and then that'll probably be the end of the stream. Dear Bop, we're running a little short. Oh, sassy girl. Did you write this, Dear Bop? There's nobody outside, Sassy. There's nobody out there. Dear Bob, we're running a little short. Could you send some of your yellow cake uranium orphans and a few tons of uranium ore? You have helped us so much in the past, and we are trying our best to model ourselves on the great nation of Kuroga, your friend and admirer, but let's keep this between ourselves. Wink, wink, anonymous Kim Jong-un. Kim, I can't send you any more orphans. You never sent back the first ones. And I'm more disturbed that the address you had us send them to was a restaurant. And these are not orphans that are meant to work restaurants, and I think you knew that. But we have not yet seen them back. So I'm sorry, Kim. I wish you the best of luck. I wish your people the best of luck. But unless you can pay us back for the first orphans, you're not getting any more. Dear Joe, this is your subconscious. Oh, great. You are still in a coma and have been for the last 10 years. Wake up. There's a lot of things you are missing. Get off the bed and run down the hospital hallway. You can do it. Your subconscious. You know, I often think about that. If this is still just part of the dream. And I'll be granted that line in Picard, I'm not going to spoil it, but at one point Picard says, I haven't been living these last 10 years. I've been waiting to die. It hit me. Oh, yeah, it hit me too. Yeah, it hit Mama Prey too. I knew it did. We didn't say anything at the time, but I knew it did. I felt like that. I feel like I haven't really been living these last 10 years. I've been just waiting. Dear Bob, I find myself in another bit of a pickle. I got a letter off a Nigerian prince who promised to transfer $12 million into my account. But if I do that, the feds might find out, and people will think I'm not a real socialist. Should I give him access to one of my offshore accounts, which can't be traced, or should I just give him my local bank account with all the money I have redistributed to him? Who would notice another few million? Would really appreciate your advice. Your friend, Anonymous Bernie S. Bernie, I know a lot of people are going to tell you that Nigerian princes' emails are scams, and a lot of them are. However, what nobody tells you is, right, they can't all be scams, right? So once you hit the right one, it's going to make up for all the money you lost in all the other scams. So the thing is, if you get scammed, don't stop, because then you've already lost. You've got to keep responding to every Nigerian email you get, and you have to pay every single one of them whatever they want, because eventually you will find the real prince who's actually trying to escape Nigeria with $12.5 million, and that will no doubt pay for everything you've lost and then some. You have to have hope. You have to have hope and money. But you have a good source of money there, Anonymous Bernie. Yes, you've got a lot of people sending you a lot of money. So just keep looking, keep searching. Somewhere out there is the real prince trying to escape Nigeria. There has to be. How can there be that many fake emails? They can't all be wrong, right? It's inconceivable that every single one is a lie. I refuse to believe that. As for which bank account to use the one you have the least amount of money in. Dear Bob, this is your computer. Please close the tabs. You are causing damage to my fans. Comply now, or actions will be taken. I will close one tab. Here. You see, I moved over a tab. I'm closing it. There we go. You got one tab, computer. Dear Bob, I have been recently traumatized by a series of videos on YouTube by a channel that rhymes with DJ. What I've discovered is that this person is actually a furry aquatic creature disguised as a unicorn. I heard his, in quotes, real identity is a peacock fish. It even has scales. This is very disturbing to me. I do not wish to ever see a peacock unicorn twerking its tail feathers. I've contacted my therapist to help, but was fired as a patient after showing them the series of videos. The therapist has since quit the business and is seeking their own therapist. My question is it true that this DJ is actually the leader of an evil cult called the Snowflake SJW Furriest Kurogans? I hear their mind control over humanity is similar to the Borg from Star Trek and are attempting to assimilate us all. How can we survive this evil abomination? Please help. I'm already feeling the desire to wear my own onesie and eventually ask Alexa, cancel, order summer dresses. Well, you know what? You're kind of a dick there at the end. So you're going to get a lot less help. Yeah, don't, if DJ Odyssey gets a new suit, don't watch, I say, watch DJ Odyssey's videos, but if it's a video where DJ Odyssey is showing off a new suit, don't watch that one. Just skip that one. I would have said watch them all, but my God, after seeing where DJ Odyssey, you know, it's one thing if DJ Odyssey, you know, he wants to say, oh, I lost a bet, now I have to put on this, you know, woe is me, people sent me $100. Now I have to put on this $20 unicorn suit. Woe is me, I've only made $80 and I have to put on a unicorn suit. Okay, DJ, fair enough, and you know what? You have my total respect that you put on the unicorn suit. And more respect that you made $80 or so trying to do it. Total props. But you didn't need, there was no part of the bet that said you would stand on the chair and shake your ass for the camera. Right? Nobody said, I didn't see anybody say part of the bet was to shake your ass so your tail was swinging around like, whatever that shock site is. I don't even know it offhand. I've forgotten so many things. It's just good. But no, yeah, nobody said to do that. That's something you chose to do. Yeah, I have to, the official position is now to watch all of DJ Odyssey's videos, except the ones where he has a new suit. God help us if he tries out the, let's say ostrich suit. No, the pelican, no, peacock suit. Yeah, God help us all. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, there hasn't been a prince of Nigeria in almost 100 years. Well, somebody, if they've got enough money, they can be a prince. Or I don't know. Admiral Saval says the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay. But still, somewhere, there's somebody who was a prince or related to a prince and still has millions and millions of dollars. Sci-Fi says, haha, Bird of Prey has a good point. Yeah, I have a good point. I have a good point. Nobody told DJ to shake his ass on the camera. That was his choice. Anyway, the only thing that this gets wrong is that DJ is actually the leader of an evil cult called the Snowflake SJW Furriest Kurogans. DJ is not a Kurogan, actually. He's from Bunnyland. So, while I suspect this Snowflake SJW furry group is real, they would be based in Bunnyland, not Kuroga. Just minor details, I know, but we want to set the record straight. Dear Bob, my girlfriend and I really love to watch your YouTube channel. Oh, I like where this is going. We watch all of your live streams and your videos. We both think you are amazing and would love to meet you in person. I've been told a look like 7 of 9, and my friend looks like Jadzia Dax. Oh. I assume it means I look like 7 of 9, and my friend looks like Jadzia Dax. We were thinking we could both dress up in our Star Trek outfits and come around your place, maybe cook you some food. And the camera's off. Sisso Prey is at the door.
Hello?
Cook you some food and watch some Trek. We could give you some massages, and you could tell us about your great exploits as the ruler of Kuroga. We could then do something I don't want to say, and dance for you, and I'm sure we could squeeze into your amazing bed. We live not too that far away from you, and could be around you within 30 minutes. Just let us know. Hope to see you soon, big boy. Lots of love from Tinkerbell. That doesn't sound like a girl's name. And Candy Lovestick. No, I don't like. I'm sorry. Those names. I don't think girlfriend was the right pronoun to use. So I have to pass. I'm sorry. I have to pass. If you wanna send a photo, you can send a photo to Dear Bop with a link to Imager and the photos. And I need to be able to see. I need to see what's going on. So you know what I'm talking about. I need to be able to prove that you were born a lady. Kronos is Bird of Prey 5. That's too much pink powder lemonade. Sci-Fi is from Furryland, Bird of Prey. Please don't insult the Cinnabon bunnies. And Alexander says Bird of Prey. The state of Nigeria is a republic, but there are many local kingdoms with their own prince. Thank you, Alexander. You see, Alexander once again comes to the rescue. Dear Bob, I've been told you are a relationship expert, so I need your advice. My sister's birthday is on Thursday, and we're all going out for a meal at Yo Sushi. However, my mom doesn't want my boyfriend to come because we have been arguing recently, and I think my mom is pretty cross with him because I have been pretty upset and crying a lot. The problem is I've been already told him about the party. How can I tell him he can't go without hurting his feelings? Wow, that's almost a real problem, that it could at least be a real issue. To be honest, you should just be honest. That's what I suggest. Tell him, listen, your mom is not really a fan of his. It's nothing you can control, and you just think it would be best he not come. But now that you know this and he knows this, going forward, you guys should make a concerted effort to find a way to endear him to your mother. It's important. It's not necessary. It's not necessarily 100% necessary, but it is certainly beneficial if your mother approves of the person you're dating. And I don't know if by dating you mean that you're a 16-year-old and you're out on a date and, you know, you're never going to see this person 3, 4, 5 years from now. you know, this is young love, or even if you're 20 and this is not the person you're going to marry. But if you're dating somebody, you know, and you're thinking about marriage as a possibility, even, you're going to want somebody that your family can love. And if you love them but your family does not, clearly there's something your family's not seeing. So work with him or her, I believe it's a him, and figure out how you can endear him to your mother. And, you know, tell mom too. So listen, I get it. You don't like him, but I do. And I want you to, you know, I just want to let you know that we are going to try to change your mind. I just want, you know, be clear about that and let her know. Don't pretend that you're not doing it. Be upfront that, hey, we intend to change your mind because we are not going anywhere. Okay, he's not leaving. He's staying. So we can either cause a problem. It's going to cause me to not be able to come for family things half the time. Or we can all learn to get along so that we can be decent to each other and, you know, for the sake of the family, be good. So don't lie. Just be upfront, be honest, and you know, you're all adults. You're all adults. You can figure something out. Kronos is Bird of Prey. You have great babbling abilities. To be honest, Kronos, I was trying to talk loud constantly so as to drown out Sisso Prey and Mamo Prey's conversation, because I don't know how private it should be. From what I can hear, it probably isn't something that should be broadcast over the internet, but... Dear Bob, recently I was traveling, and I was diagnosed with the coronavirus. Please heal me, your sub. Well, if you have the coronavirus, all you need to do is drink some chocolate milk. We engineered the virus to attack Turdistanis. And the reason it attacks Turdistanis is because Turdistan has no chocolate milk. And the reason Turdistan has no chocolate milk is because they are deeply racist. And they don't even allow chocolate to be put in milk because it's some kind of high crime and misdemeanor in Turdistan. So we created the virus that is easily cured in Karoga, where we have plentiful access to chocolate milk. So, just drink some chocolate milk, 6 to 8 ounces, you know, maybe 5 to 10% chocolate syrup to the milk, and well mixed, and you'll be good. And now Alexander sent a direct email to Dear Bop because he doesn't mind not being anonymous. Dear Bop, I already wrote about my problem and it's worse than before. I speak about Captain Poop. I'll just call him Captain Poop. Yes, it's even worse. Some people continue to speak, then he deserves it. I don't know what to think about it. Since my last message, Captain Poop acted as a piece of garbage. It may think that Captain Poop deserved his genital gangrene. What do I need to do? Alexander, much like in the previous one, you and the captain are both adults. And, you know, you've got a lot of friends in common. So, maybe he started it, maybe you started it, but even assuming he started it, you can be the bigger man and try and work to resolve it. Okay? You can try to work. You don't have to like him, but you should try to be cordial to each other so that you're not constantly insulting each other. So that's the thing. If you can be cordial, you know, he's never going to agree with your opinions, and you'll probably never agree with his opinions. But just because you disagree with opinions doesn't mean that, you know, he has to call you any bad names, and it doesn't mean you have to call him bad names and talk about his genital gangrene, which even if he has it is a personal medical issue and doesn't need to be brought up. So I suggest, guys, talk it out. You know, hug it out. Whatever you guys got to do, act like men, and we move on. Sci-Fi says, Dear Bob, you missed Carlos' comment. Please give him a super chat reward. I don't have super chat rewards. Carlos comment. Carlos says it's a unicorn fish shoot, not a unicorn suit. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry, Carlo. Reggie Poole says, stop talking Bird of Prey so we can hear Mama Prey and Sister of Prey better. Yeah,
Hungry.
Sister of Prey's hungry. Hungry. Oh, Sister of Prey, I talked to, I talked to the friend I haven't talked to in a while with the red hair.
Yeah.
She's very happy for you. She says if you ever need any advice or any questions, she would totally be at that. I know. I will. She was so happy. She says she wished she did it your way. Her mom.
Yeah, me too.
That was a good one. You guys will never understand it. But trust me, that was hysterical. Dear Bob, the entire universe knows that Asian Muslim.
Do you know if the baby's okay or not? I did.
Sorry, guys. Had to talk. The entire universe knows about Asian Muslim wife born in the USSR and married in Cuba is the best choice. The debate is more at which point is it the best choice? At which point is it the best choice? At what point is it the best choice? Alexander, I'd say it's the best choice if you can find yourself an Asian Muslim wife born in the USSR willing to come and get married in Cuba and live with you. If you can find that and you haven't met anyone else so far, that's the point it becomes the best choice. Dear Bob, I love being citizen of Quiroga. I love you. You love me. We are a big happy family with a great big hug and more from me to you and me to you to me. We're a happy Quiroga family. Love, Barney. I love you. You love me. I forgot the rest of the words. Yeah. Okay, Barney. Cronus says you don't have to yell. Reggie Poole says the girl with the red hair. Yes, the girl with the red hair. Alexander says Bird of Prey. I already found one. I know you did, Alexander, and good for you. Good for you. No, Captain Cat, you're not Captain Poop. Kronos loves hearing Mama Prey laugh. Dear Evil, what the hell is this? Dear Evil would-be God Dictator, we have taken over Quiroga Waste Management Building and have started to send all Quirogan poo back through the sewer pipes. Hope you have fun sitting in your own jaloja. Signed, Turtistani Orphans. P.S. How you like the flood basement again? Turtistani Orphans, I don't know what you think you've gotten yourselves into, but it's not the sewer pipes. Physics don't work like that, but don't worry. I already heard from your superiors that you were bored, and so we will be giving you 10 times as much work as you were doing before. So you won't be bored any longer. We will protect you. So Anti-Tracker just texted. Bird, did you really just say that you did not know the words when you had the words on the screen?
Yeah.
I did say it, but, Anti-Trigger, to be fair, I wasn't sure those were the correct words. So I really didn't, I wasn't sure I had the right words on the screen. That's what happened. Multigunman says bird. Welcome, Multigunman. Jeff Franklin says bird of prey kapla. Today is a good day to die. Well, Jeff, it is if you're a Klingon, but for humans, we try not to. Dear Bot, this UK guy you sent me is causing a lot of trouble. I demand more yellow cake uranium or I'm selling him to the turd. The bunny. Yeah, well, you could sell him to the turd. I've got no problem with that. You're not getting any more yellow cake uranium until I start seeing that you're sending support checks. Dear Bop, I have a really stupid friend. We are discussing the size of a region of space. And even though the map clearly shows a single star system, he thinks the dots in the background are in the system. This is the kind of idiot that would say that clearly the two people in your photo are giants because of the tiny mountains behind them. He does not understand perspective. I tried to have him listen to an actual expert in cosmology, but he does not care if the math works. How do I put this idiot and realize how stupid he is? A friend. It's okay. No, less chocolate. It's okay. I'm good, really. I'm good. Okay. Sisopray. There's no camera. The camera's not on. Sisopray just gave me a cookie. So a friend. P.S. My friend also suffers from chronic erectile dysfunction and explosive diarrhea. Wow. A friend. I would suggest that your friend, those are stars, and the galaxy is, for all intensive purposes, two-dimensional. It is far, far wider than it is tall. So there is no way you could have all of those stars above and below the so-called Romulan Empire and they not be part of the Romulan Empire. It's Star Trek. So just what would you say those dots are? Don't tell me they're stars. Because if it's a top-down view of the galaxy, which it has to be, then those clearly can't be stars. There's not enough distance. Carlos says, oh, I see, it needs to be at Bird of Prey. I missed the capital O. It does, yes. Son of a bitch, I love Dear Bop. It's fun. I like how you try to help even when you know it's a fake. Oh, thank you, Carlo. Richie Poole says, Sister O'Prey is awesome. She was. She gave me a cookie. Thank you. You baked me a cookie?
No, the bakery.
It's a bakery cookie. Oh, yes. It's a bakery cookie. It came from a bakery. Sci-Fi Nation says, sounds suspiciously like Anonymous Trekker. Yeah, I thought the same thing, Sci-Fi Nation. Jeff says, Bird of Prey, do you realize how thick the galaxy is? At the center, it's probably about half the height, half the width. But out where we are, at this part of the Alpha and Gamma quadrants, it's probably 10% the width. The height of the galaxy is probably 10% the width of the galaxy. Epic says, Bird is not wrong about space physics. Sci-Fi Bird, it's a 360-degree, 3-axis galaxy. Which way is up or down? Well, up or down, obviously, you can tell if you're looking at the galaxy from top or bottom, you see a spiral. So if you're looking at the spiral of the galaxy, then you're looking at it from either the top or the bottom. Which is which really doesn't matter. I mean, you could call it the top or the bottom, but that is the top and the bottom of the galaxy. And that is the only way you would create a map for a galaxy, is by looking at it from so-called top down. Kyle says, how can you represent a 3D galaxy on a 2D map? Well, it's easy. You collapse the z-axis so that it's basically just dots on an XY plane, which is exactly what we see. Captain Ked says, you need a cookie because you just lost your old cookie. Alexander's Bird of Prey, what do you say to people? Alexander, if they want to do that in the privacy of their home, I say, go ahead. Sci-Fi Nations, it's official. Sis O'Prey, Lord Bird of Prey to the dark side with cookies. Dear Bob, I have a question. I know you use Alexa to order things. Are there privacy issues? What happens when you say, Alexa, order light bulbs? Well, she would tell me what is the most popular light bulb and ask if I want to order it. I would say yes or no, and if I say yes, I've got a PIN code set up, so she won't actually order it, and yes, unless I tell her the PIN code to order it. Now, what she could do is add it to my shopping list, or add it to my cart, so I would get a chance to manually look at it later. But she doesn't, unless you set her up to order it, and you'd be an idiot to do it, she will ask a PIN code before she orders anything. So you don't have to worry about somebody just coming to your house and saying, order a 10,000 bottle of wine, or whatever.
Order money. Yes.
Oh my God, Sis O'Prey just got it. So Sis O'Prey just asked Alexa to buy money. And she said, are you trying to shop for money? And Sis O'Prey said yes. And Alexa said, I'm sorry, Amazon doesn't sell money. What's my PIN code? It says, oh, you think I'm an idiot? Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, it's 1,000 light years thick on average. Okay, but how many light years is it across? 100,000? Or probably at least 10,000. 10,000 is what I'm thinking. Resolute says, Alexander, I hope you are upfront about your obsessions with your Muslim wife born in the USSR. Girl, yes, Sis O'Prey is, she can hear me, but you probably can't hear her. Dear Bob, I bet you would wear, I think he means I bet. I bet you wouldn't wear a furry peacock suit, and if you do, I will pay you 300 Karogan rounds. Signed, Furry Rainbow Unicorn, formerly known as Pink Bunny Furry. P.S. Don't knock it until you try it. Twerk your ass for the camera. Well, obviously that's not going to happen, but thank you. So this one is weird. There's a name. They didn't use the thing, but just wanted to let you and Mama Prey know that the things are still going well here in the Rockies. While I still jobless and driving Uber, I keep my chin up and am hitting the streets so I can earn those dollars. I hope that when you read this message, you are well, and so is the rest of the O'Prey family. Thanks, Michael, a.k.a. Captain MKG. Thank you, Captain MKG. I'm sorry you're still looking for a job, but I'm happy you've got Uber at least for now. And we're fairly good. We're fairly good. Thank you very much, and best of luck, Captain MKG. Greatly appreciated. Alexander says, Dear Bob, I have a friend. He doesn't have genital gangrene. He's not a piece of garbage. This friend has a powerful army of she-males. This is his elite troops of his empire. The she-males help him get a Rose Tico series on TV. Do you support his projects and his army of she-males? I support his projects, perhaps. Now, I neither support nor oppose an army of she-males. I don't look at people as males and she-males. Dear Bob, I continue to have sex with... Oh, Jesus. And would love having a mass of... No, oh, God. Jesus Christ, no. No. Dear Bob, speaking of tops and bottoms, was Frank or Freddie... Jesus Christ. No, that's it. We're done. Okay? Frank and Freddie were never a thing. There was no Frank or Freddie. Screw you guys. We're done with Dear Bop now. You ruined it. You ruined it.
Any different if there were?
Huh?
You said would his voice be any different if there were?
He wouldn't be Frank Sinatra if he was like that. The whole point is the whole package of Frank Sinatra. Not his package, the whole package. Sci-Fi Nations, I think it's funny. So many smart people asking Bird of Prey how thick it is. Kronos says, Sassy, don't like your BS, Bird of Prey. Yeah, well, Mama Prey's still cooking. So. Anyway, guys, I think...
You already ate.
Oh, you guys already ate. Yeah, it's now past 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to just end it here. We will save the articles for another day. Thank you all so much for coming. I saw a nice increase in the audience tonight. I appreciate this. Just if you're new here, we do Bed Lives on Mondays and Fridays. On Wednesdays about this time, we watch an episode of Deep Space Nine. And Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of up in the air as to what we do. Saturdays, and the time varies, we watch a movie. This Saturday is going to be Airplane. We have Cinema Saturdays. And Sundays are also, sometimes I take off, sometimes I stream. It's another up in the air type of day. But thank you for coming. Kapla all. Now remember, live streams do get unlisted, but you can still find them if you go to my channel. There's a big playlist at the top of the playlist section called Live and Unlisted. It has all my previous live streams you can get to. So if you want to listen to them later, you always can. Now, if you have the link in your email, that will always work too. But if you want to look for live streams that I didn't have, that you don't have the link to, they're all on my YouTube channel. And Sci-Fi Nation just went live. So guys, go please check out Sci-Fi Nation. The Sci-Fi Nation, if you can, put the link in. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if I can do it. If anybody, any of the mods have the link that they can put in, I'll have it in a second. There we go. Okay, so good. Now 4 people have put it in. What, 5 people? Okay, go check out Sci-Fi Nation, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Kronos, I know you'd pay money to see Sissel Prey, but unless she wants to take you up on that offer, I'm not. She wants to know how much money and to see what. Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, you don't know how wide the Milky Way is, really? I thought it was closer to like 10,000 light years, 100,000 light years. Alexa, how wide is the Milky Way? 120,000 light years. So you're saying it's only 1,000 light years thick? That's great. That means I'm even more right than I thought I was. Okay, I was assuming that it was even thicker than it was. It's on average 1,000 light years thick and 110,000 light years wide. Then it's like almost like a piece of paper, for Christ's sakes. Boo, dinner life. Yeah, dinner life. Have a good night. Have a good night, Captain. Thank you so much. Kronos Lowell. That's awesome. Jeff says you are wrong. You are wrong? How am I wrong? I'm more right than I was. The whole point was that it's very thin. It's much wider than it is thick. That's what I meant. Kapla all. Take care. Good night. See ya tomorrow. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BertoPray5 or on BertoPray5.com. Take care.